What is good, and welcome back to another episode of The Hobbyist. For today's episode, I'm going to go through a few cards that I plan on submitting to CSG. CSG has recently lowered their prices, so I hope to take advantage of that this year and get some of my collection graded. So if you'd like to see which cards I plan on submitting for grading, stick around. Okay, let's get started. These first two cards here are pack pulls that I had recently. If you haven't seen the video, you might want to check it out. I ripped open 3 Topps Update hanger boxes, and they were stacked. They were loaded, at least loaded with base rookies for the most part, and I got some pretty decent pulls out of them too. These first two are some of those. This first one here is the Last Dance. This is the red foil, so a nice color match on this card. This is numbered to 199. I don't think it'll 10. It might. Oh man, I think I checked the centering on it, and I think it just made the requirements for a 10 in a CSG. Now, if you are not familiar with grading, do yourself a favor and look at the grading company's grading criteria. I don't know if a lot of people do that. I kind of get the feeling that people don't. So, take a look at that, because, a lot of people that I hear when they get their grades back and see that they get their grades back, the first thing that they look at when the grade isn't what they were expecting is they'll make a comment like, "Oh yeah, it's a little off center." But for some grading companies, it can be a little off center. Specifically, PSA and CSG. PSA and CSG have the same centering requirements for a 10 on the front. Now on the back, it's different. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I misspoke. On the front, PSG is more lenient. They are the most lenient as far as centering goes. CSG has the same centering criteria as SGC on the front. On the back of the card, CSG has the same centering criteria as PSA. So, I think this was in the tolerance for a 10, at least centering wise. I haven't done prep on these cards yet, so I will be taking them out of these top holders and sleeves. I will be wiping them down, and I'll be looking at the edges under magnification. I do have a nice loop that I'll be looking at, and I'll double check the centering just in case. But from what I remember, I did kind of look at these pretty quickly when I first got these few cards together, and I thought I checked that on this one, and it was within the guidelines for a 10 from what I remember. But that is card number 1. Card number 2 is, again, from that same rip of 3 or hanger boxes, I should say. This Julio Rodriguez. This is the base Julio and the orange foil parallel. Pretty sweet looking card there. This one is numbered 233 of 299. And I did check the centering on this one, and this one was within the guidelines for a 10 on the CSG scale. So as far as centering goes, I know it meets the 10 criteria. Now, there could be other things that knock it down as far as like the surface or the corners or the edges. But from when I did my quick look at it, it looked pretty good.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
So I didn't look at it in great detail because it was a pack pulled card, but that doesn't really mean much. You still can get pack pulled cards that have surface imperfections or edge imperfections, and these are foil cards, so they can be kind of tricky. Okay, next one here is we're getting into some Kobe cards. First one is a Flair Showcase. This is the row 2, I believe. Yes, row 2. Flair Showcase. I will be sending that off. That is a nice Kobe Bryant rookie. Next up is another Flair Showcase. This is the row 1. And again, like I said, I will be wiping these down. I'm pretty sure I did that with some of these already. I think I did that with all these Kobe ones. But I will check them out and do it again if I need to. And I'll be putting them in the proper holders. So nice card there. And the next one is another Flair Showcase. This one is row 0. Nice looking card there. Looks pretty nice to the naked eye. I didn't see much going on, so I'm hoping for at least a 9 on all these. I would love a 9 on those. Next up is a Class of 96 Flair Showcase insert. Nice looking card. It's got the, you know, a lot of these that I was looking at has this shoulder touching this edge, and I was able to find this one that's got a little bit of space in between. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but to me it looks nicer. Now there was some, I think some chipping along one of these edges back here. And I just noticed this little dot here. I don't know if that's a speck on the card or what. So that might bring me down a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Next one is a members only 1996 members only from Topps. This one does not have the peel, which kind of made me a little bit reluctant when I was going after it, but it was affordable, to be honest with you. Seems like this card never stays low in the bidding wars, so I finally was able to get one at a price that I was willing to spend. So I'm happy to have this one. I was going to take the peel off anyway, but it's like a new electronic. You like to be the one to peel off the peel. So anyways, this next one here is a Holo Jam. This is the first one that I picked up, and you can see up here in this corner, it's got a ding in the surface, a dent, fingernail dent, scratch, I don't know, whatever it is. But so I did pick this up. It's got some corner issues. It's not in the greatest shape. I'm hoping this might pull maybe a 6 or a 7, but we will see. We will see. I'm not sure how they're gonna take this, because there is a little bit of it's not bad. It's a little bit of a crease that kind of comes through along this corner here, but it's not horrible. But it does have that nice kind of dent in it. Ding, whatever you want to call it. But it is in the surface. It's like, I don't know, maybe like a fingernail imprint or something. So I don't know. We'll see how that does. But I was able to pick up a second one. So I am happy about this, because this does not have any creases in it, but it does have a little bit of corner wear up here in the top left. Actually, I think all of the corners are, they're not perfect, but it doesn't have that surface ding in it. So I am happy about that. Hopefully this comes back maybe an 8 is what I'm hoping for, an 8 at least. Next one is the Rookie Preview. This is another foil card, or foil surface card. So these are really delicate as well. I'm pretty sure there's got to be some scratches on this. Hopefully they're not bad, but so maybe I can get 8.5 or a 9 out of this one. I would love that. But we will see what the experts say. I am not an expert, but I do play one on TV. Anyway, so here we go with the draft pick. This one's been sitting around. I have been wanting to get this one sent off to CSG for quite some time, and now is that time. So there is a little bit of a speck of foil loss right up here at the top. At least that's from what I remember. Other than that, everything else looks pretty good. Now this card does have the foil. Doesn't seem like it goes all the way to the edge. It's like this nice little border around it that has some missing foil, or I don't know if it's missing or if that's how the card was printed, but it does have like this nice little strip of non-foil around the edges. So I am curious to see if that's going to really affect the grade on this card, or if that's how the card was produced. So I don't know. This could probably go anywhere from a 5 to an 8, maybe 8.5. At least that's kind of my expectation. We will see what happens. I mean, it could come back at 3. Who knows? I don't know. But I love this card. The light just bounces off of it, and whatever it gets, it gets. I just really want to get it in a nice holder, and I want to get a grade. I want to know, what a professional grader, what their opinion on is of this card. So we will find out. Now this next one here is a card that I picked up. Showed it in my last month's recent pickups. This did come in a slab. The slab was cracked. This was graded a Gem Mint 10, and it was from, I think, a first graded company. The first graded company graded this a 10. I looked at this with a loop, a 10x loop, and it's not going to be a 10. I would be surprised if it's a 10, maybe a 9.5. But I don't know. Maybe I'm being too critical, because there are, to the naked eye, this thing looks really, really nice. It does look really, really nice to the naked eye. When you do look at it under 10x magnification, you can see small imperfections on these corners. So I don't know. We will see. Like I said, I'm not an expert, but my gut feeling is telling me that, I won't be surprised if this comes back a 9.5 or a 9. I'm hoping it comes back a 10, but I don't know. We will see. And this next one I have yet to crack out of the slab, but I plan to get this one cracked out and submitted. I have looked at this under magnification, and I'm hoping it stays a 9. I really am. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back an 8 or an 8.5. But I'm hoping it stays at least a 9. It could venture into the 9.5 area, but I doubt it. But like I said, I'm not a professional, so we will see what happens. That is going to do it, everyone. Those are the cards that I plan on submitting to CSG for grading. Like I said, they have changed their price scale for this month. Actually, I think for the year, or they adjusted their prices. They were having some specials at the end of last year in November and December. I think it was like 20% off or something like that. And then they ended up extending that early in January. And then towards the end of January, they made like a permanent change to reduce their prices. So that's what I'll be counting on with these. So I think I won't be able to I don't have enough for the bulk. I think you still need 25 for the bulk. I wish they would change that to like, I don't know, 10 or 15, but they haven't. And the next, I think is like the standard or express. I don't remember. But that one, I think is like $15 a card. The bulk is like 12. The next one up is like 15. And then I think it went to like 20 or something like that. But I'm hoping these will fit in the $15 per card area section. But I think the max value is like 500 maybe. So I think I might be pretty close with that row 0 card. Maybe it was like 400. I don't remember. So I know I'm taking a chance on, and if if I need to pay more, I'll pay more. But I'm hoping it stays within that area. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. That's one thing I really don't care for about some of these grading companies. They have that max limit for value. It doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, looking at a card, whether it's a $5 card or a $5,000 card, you're still going to judge the card on the corners, the surface, the centering. I mean, it doesn't change how any of that stuff is evaluated. So I really don't get why. I mean, those service levels should, in my opinion, should just reflect the processing time, the grading time. So if you submit something at one level for $15 a card, then you shouldn't expect to get it back for X amount of days. Same for the next level, but just a shorter. If you pay more, shorten that time frame. I don't see why it should have any impact at all on the value of the card. Well, the card's a card. So just my thoughts, but that's gonna do it. So thanks for tuning in and hanging around and checking these out with me. I'll let you know when they come back. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Until next time, collect what you like. I will see you in the next one.